Ventilation, which is the movement of air in and out of the lung, requires the action of muscles. And ventilation can be subdivided into inhaling, that is breathing in, and exhaling, which is the breathing out. And over here on the left side, I'm going to explain the different muscles a little bit later. But right now, let's have a look at what happens to the air pressure and the volume of the lungs when we inhale and exhale. So when inhaling, the lung volume increases. So because of the action of the muscles, the lungs become larger. The contents of the lungs become larger. And as a consequence, the pressure inside the lungs drops. It becomes lower, and the external air pressure, the air pressure surrounding us, is therefore larger. And because air moves from an area of high pressure to low pressure, the air moves into the lungs, which have a lower pressure than the outside air. And exhaling, which is the breathing out, is the opposite. And here I'm not going to step you through the different processes. It's simply the opposite. In exhaling, the lung volume decreases because muscles contract or the diaphragm relaxes. This causes a decrease in lung volume. The pressure goes up inside the lungs, and the air again moves from an area of high pressure, which is inside the lungs, to an area of low pressure, which is outside of the lungs, and the air moves out. So that is the ventilation process. And now let's have a more detailed look at how the muscles change the lung volume. And there are several muscles involved here, and I listed all of them. There are three main types: the diaphragm, which is located beneath the lungs; the intercostal muscles, which are located between the ribs; and the abdominal muscles, which are located in the belly. So when the diaphragm contracts, then it moves down. And when it moves down, the lung volume increases. I'm going to write volume of lung increases. Well, and if the volume of the lung increases, then I'm simply going to continue over here, down here. The pressure inside the lungs drops, air moves into the lungs, and you inhale. So that is the diaphragm, and it is used for relaxed breathing. And most likely right now you're using a diaphragm. You're not doing any sports right now, you're not running, you're not blowing up a balloon. In this case, you would all need the intercostal muscles for forced breathing. So that's basically what I already told you. The intercostal muscles are for forced breathing. So forceful inhaling and forceful exhaling. And the external intercostals, when they contract, then they are for inhaling. The lung volume increases. The pressure drops and you inhale. Okay, I left out the fact that the pressure drops. I think it should be clear over here from this, what I already explained over here. The internal intercostals, when they contract, then the volume of the lung decreases. This means the pressure goes up and the air moves out of the lungs and you exhale. And I think it's clear that if one of them contracts, the other one has to relax, and vice versa. The abdominal muscles are there only for assisted breathing. They help. So they assist in forced breathing. So when they contract, the internal organs are compressed and the lung volume decreases. Okay, so they contract, and the volume of the lung goes down, decreases, because the internal organs are more compressed. The stomach is pushed together, and therefore it pushes up against the lungs. The volume decreases and you exhale. But again, they are only helping out here. So this was basically it. The muscles of ventilation, you see there are more of them involved than you might actually initially think. And all of the things that these muscles do is that they change the volume of the lung, and therefore they also change the air pressure inside the lung. This was basically it.